Welcome to the brilliantly named Tolitoli, a tropical rainforest regency of central Sulawesi province of Indonesia. Although frequented by many sailors as the first stop to Sulawesi from Kalimantan, this gem is rarely visited by tourists, and we think they're missing out.
No rest for the wicked. Early start. Get the dinghy in the water, get the outboard on, fill up the fuel tanks with fuel from the jerry cans, come ashore and try and find some diesel. Now, we have a little greeting party here. This is Saiful.
Hi!
He is going to be our guide. We've each been assigned a guide by Hendra.
Hi! Hi guys, I'm on the vlog.
He's actually a teacher, but he's going to be busy today marking examinations, but he coordinates things for the yachties basically. He's the man about town, he's our contact here, and what he's done is assigned a guide to each boat. Now this is something he normally does in the Indonesian rally. It's not something we would normally encourage ourselves because, as you know, we like to explore places on our own. But these are all students of his and they want to practice their English. We're going to have some local knowledge. So we're off to do some sightseeing, but the battery's about to run out on this camera, so Saiful's going to take me back to the boat, pick up the other camera.
I'm going to the salon to see if they can do something with my weird hair.
That's the salon.
Okay, so that's our diesel sorted. Just nipping back to pick Liz up with the laundry next, but on the way back I thought I'd show you one of these boats that's at anchor here in the harbour. We've seen these occasionally at sea, and at night time they are properly lit up like Christmas trees. Now I'm not sure if they're actual squid boats. The equivalent in Thailand would be a squid boat, but I just wanted to show you the outriggers on this thing. Hold on, let me just put the engine in neutral and just take a look at the amount of gear that's hanging off this what is essentially a monohull. Let's go for a little cruise underneath the outrigger just to give you some perspective. There's actually two at anchor here.
We came to know these fishing vessels as spider boats. The smaller canoe versions are known as dukongs, but they come in many different sizes, and the larger ones are made up of complex rigging. Are they a monohull or trimarans? You decide.
So there we go. Did you see the suspension? You've got the two masts here, and it looks like a suspension bridge. The amount of rigging that comes down to hold those two outriggers up is quite a feat of engineering. How seaworthy these things are, I don't know, but it's obviously a proven method because you see quite a lot of these boats around this area. We've decided to go off with Yaya and Saiful on their scooters and do a bit of sightseeing, so let's go.
Tolitoli and the surrounding area is famous for its clove production, and we were keen to go up into the mountains to see how the cloves are farmed. But not before Saiful and Yaya took us to a typical seafood restaurant. As well as cloves, Sulawesi has a large fish and coconut industry, and the two are combined in the restaurants built on stilts over the water. What is this called in... Come and have a look at these, you pick your own fish. So this is the one I'm having. This one. After picking out your own fish, the chef will barbecue it on a fire of coconut husk. He's using the coconut husks to form the barbecue, so they light them, fan it, get them really hot, drop them down, and then they cook the fish on top of the coconut husks. Couldn't be more natural. The offer is simple: rice, vegetables and fish. Smoked over the barbecued husks, it is absolutely delicious.
Well, that was a delicious fish dinner. Thought I'd record myself in my attractive helmet. But we are now going to go and see the cloves, and you can see the mountain range behind me. All of these have clove plantations on, and that is where we're going next on our little tour of Tolitoli. So the guys have just taken us up now into the foothills of the mountains here. As we said, it's all about cloves, and sort of every fifth house, stilted house, will have lots of cloves laid out on tarps to dry out. And I just stopped the guys here just so we could film this. You can see tarps lining the road all the way up there. This is drying cloves, and of course every time you drive through here, the thing that strikes you the most is the smell. It's just everywhere.
One of the things that became evident to us as we travelled up into the hills is just how self-sufficient the families are by growing a variety of fruit and veg in their own gardens and open spaces.
Can you tell us what is growing in this one garden?
Yes, almost all of the people grow around the house is just like about vegetable and fruits. As you can see, this is lemongrass, basil, rambutan, we have mango, and so many kind of vegetable.
The list goes on. Papaya, durian he's growing. We've seen the pineapples here. Chili, yes. Oh, avocado, that's right, avocado. The washing seems to be coming along nicely as well. So all of this in one garden, and the guy is cooking his tuna underneath a kerosene tree. Now, if you remember, we covered off the kerosene tree when we were in Kinabalu Park. Apparently the leaf of the kerosene tree is good for diabetes, so they boil it up and make a tea out of it. I don't know for sure whether that's actually true or not, but that's how it's used here, so we'll have to look that one up. Who needs to go to the market when you have all of this in your own garden?
You can see what they look like just as they're ready to pick and when they're too late to pick. I'll show you.
Yeah,
You can.
you are the guide.
Oh,
You
okay,
have
I'm the
already
guide.
known.
I'm now the expert. So this is what they look like when they're about to be picked. And you can see that looks like a clove. So when it's dried in the sunshine, it turns into the clove that we know. And here, where are we? This one here. So this is too late because this is now a seed. So it's been left too long. So what's interesting is that most of these hillsides are now covered in clove plantations, and we don't have people running around saying, don't eat cloves because they've burnt down the rainforest, which is of course what had to happen. For these cloves to survive, they had to chop down the original rainforest. So that's farming though, isn't it?
The whole mountain behind you, that's all cloves.
Yeah, and the mountain behind you.
Go on, Liz.
Come on, Liz, help me. Help me finish them. Sometimes we stay up all night to do this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done it before now? So have you helped out doing this with families? You?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the member family doing
Yes,
this.
okay. So our question was, who owns the plantation? Just one or two families?
No.
How does it work?
Different. Many owners, I think, yes.
So lots of small
plantations.
So all plantation, but lots of small families, they own bits. That's good, isn't it?
Yes. Sama like, Ibu berapa pohon cengkehnya di sini, Bu? Wow.
What's that?
She has so many clove trees.
How many?
More than 300.
Wow, you're rich.
More than 300 trees.
How many swimming pools do you have?
Behind me is Dina, and she is the farmer in charge of what it turns out to be over 300 clove trees here. Behind me is her farmer's hut, is what Saiful called it, and she comes up here during the day, and this is where she sorts out the cloves once they've been picked. You saw Liz and Saiful breaking up the cloves there, And at the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, she then returns back to her home, which I presume is very big with lots of swimming pools, because she's clearly doing very well for herself.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's just like this. Yeah.
Monkey.
Oh, not monkey. And pick the clove, but it's too young. Terlalu muda, oh sudah dipetein. Tadi agak tua.
The harvesting of cloves is skilled and labour intensive. The clove branches are delicate, so the trees are dangerous to climb. This is why cloves are so expensive.
I get it. Take it. Oh, di atas banyak, Bu.
And is that specifically for picking fruit?
Yeah, sometimes we use this bamboo to pick up the fruit. Just like this. Oh my God! Oh!
I love one.
Oh, ada kamu yang agak tua-tua. Come on, we keep. Yeah, they give us. Come on.
We've just been admiring her pineapples, and they're not quite ready yet, but we've been told we can have one, take it to the boat and keep it until it's ready.
Putar.
Oh! Wow!
I learned
So I
for that.
taught you something.
Yes. I just like.
Yeah,
Well,
just
it's
gentle,
difficult,
just
yes. Twist.
It's not difficult.
Oh,
no. We'd like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you, you guys, particularly Patreons, FTBMates, rum funders, for the fantastic support you have given us and continued to give us over the last 2 years when life has been, let's be honest, pretty bloody horrible for all of us.
Yeah, and it's because of you guys that we continue to put out great content. We know there's a lot of YouTube viewers out there who love what we do. So if you would like to join our friends over on Patreon or FTBMates, or if you don't want to subscribe to anything, just fancy dropping a quick donation in the rum fund, we'd be really grateful. So check out followtheboat.com/pub. I'm starting to feel the heat now, so I've insisted on stopping off for a quick iced tea in a village called Ogamoli, apparently. Part of Tolitoli, but this little extra part, Ogamoli. What a great name, eh? And again, we can see more cloves drying out here. But I think the main occupation of these villagers is to film us on their mobile phones, filming them.
Yeah. He's going to farm.
Farmer.
Farmer. Cengkeh, Pak. Oh yeah. To pick clove. Clove.
The village of Ogamoli was a much-needed stop after traipsing the clove plantations in the midday sun. Not only do the people work in the clove plantations, they also farm rice. We were interested to see one family raking the rice outside their house in the street. So this is the rice that they've taken from the field. They use a kind of cultivator to take the rice, which is the seed, off the plant. Then it's brought here and left out to dry. And then once it's dry, it's all packed up. And then it goes to another process where the husk, which is a really fiddly job, is then removed from, and then we have the rice.
So as we drive back from Ogamoli back to Tolitoli main town, we're driving through the countryside, and one thing we were just talking about was how different these houses are. Every single house is different, and there's one or two that are two-storey, which is quite unusual. New builds, old builds, but some of the architecture is really quite familiar looking, if you know what I mean. Sort of Dutch colonial, maybe, mixed in with traditional stilted houses. Here's a church, we've just passed a mosque. So a real mix as well.
other side of the road and I was getting this glorious smell of cloves, and we know that the island is famous for its cloves, but also nutmegs. And these guys are smashing open the shells to produce the nutmegs. This whole warehouse and manufacturing is where the villagers bring the cloves and the nutmegs that they've grown, and then it's produced here into the stuff we see in the shop. Wow. That is a mountain of cloves. Look at those. Brought in from the villages where they all grow the cloves, and you can see them from the boat all around the hills. Look at it.
This is clove that we grow that here.
So the cloves are grown all around here.
Yeah, in Tolitoli.
And then the individual villagers then bring the cloves here.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with them when they arrive?
We sell to export to India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we lived in India, we had a lot of cloves in our food, in the curries.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely.
And nutmeg as well.
And nutmeg, yeah. So the villagers own the trees and they farm the trees.
Yeah.
And then they bring in the cloves and the nutmegs, and then you go through all the processing.
Sure, yeah.
And then bag up and send, or
Yeah.
So do you ship from here?
From here to Surabaya, then Surabaya to India. Yeah.
And then along with the nutmeg, you also get mace, and mace is what goes around the outside, and that is removed before the nutmeg shell comes here, mace. And we use this in cooking as well. Hundreds of years ago, men lost their lives fighting over this. It was a big part. You may have heard of the nutmeg wars. Hugely, worth more than gold.
So we've seen the nutmeg and we've seen the mace, but we've also just now been shown coffee beans as well. So it seems as if they do process and export coffee as well. I can't describe the smells in this warehouse. It's just gorgeous. Making me feel hungry.